The Super Saiyan 4 transformation. I don't know about you, bro, but this is genuinely my favorite Dragon Ball transformation of all time. As much as I didn't like GT, I just can't deny that this was just such a good idea. Not only was the transformation so well written, but it also just looks so good. It's insane. So obviously, it just made sense for me to make a video about it. So here are 40 fun facts, anecdotes, and theories about everything surrounding the goated Super Saiyan 4 transformation. And let's start directly with fact number 1. Did you know that the Super Saiyan 4 transformation in GT wasn't designed by Toriyama? It was actually Katsuyoshi Nakatsuru who came up with that phenomenal design. And he even stated that the reason why the fur color was red was because it just felt like a strong color that would leave a powerful visual impression, which I can't deny. Even though I liked Daima's version of the Super Saiyan 4 transformation, the OG form just has like that aura to it. What if the Super Saiyan 4 transformation had golden hair? This was actually Nakatsuru's original idea, but ultimately went with the black hair as it just worked better with the red fur. But honestly, the golden hair could have worked with like golden fur and would have made more sense technically speaking, as it would have perfectly represented the power of the golden great ape fully controlled. Have you ever wondered why Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta has red hair? Well, there's an interesting theory that Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta actually has God Ki, as Goku received Ki from 4 Saiyans, and then him, fusing with Vegeta, made him have Ki from 5 different Saiyans, hence turning him into a Super Saiyan God. But let's be real here, the reason why Gogeta has red hair is simply because it just looked cool. Like, bro, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta with black hair literally just looks like Super Saiyan 4 Goku but with a fusion vest. Did you know that the Super Saiyan 4 transformation actually gives its user a couple of inches? And I'm not talking about their tails, but actually their height. You can clearly see it with Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta in GT. You can see him shrinking once he de-transforms. If you ever wondered why Vegeta loses his tail at the end of GT, well, according to the GT Perfect Files guide, Vegeta lost his tail because it was artificially forced and not a natural permanent regrowth. In Dragon Ball Heroes, almost every Saiyan gets a Super Saiyan 4 transformation. Broly, Gohan, Bardock, even Vegito. And if you ever wondered why Trunks didn't get one, well, it's simply because the developers couldn't decide if Trunks' hair should turn black or stay purple in his Super Saiyan 4 form. So they just scrapped the idea and went with Super Saiyan God. Did you know that the Super Saiyan 4 transformation isn't a transformation that can be mastered? Unlike the previous Super Saiyan transformations, this form doesn't really put much strain on the body of its user. And since it's been said in the GT Perfect Files that no special training was needed to master the Super Saiyan 4 transformation and stop it from rapidly draining its user's energy, it's safe to assume that once you unlock the Super Saiyan 4 transformation, you unlock it already mastered and at its full potential, just like the Super Saiyan God transformation, which honestly makes sense because the form is literally just the Great Ape form mastered. But that doesn't mean that the Super Saiyan 4 transformation doesn't have any downsides, as it's been stated multiple times by Goku that it's very easy for him to lose control in that form, as it taps directly into his Great Ape instincts. Broly isn't the legendary Super Saiyan, at least in GT's timeline, as it's been speculated in the GT's Perfect Files that the Super Saiyan 4 transformation might just be the legendary Saiyan transformation that appears once every 1,000 years, which honestly could make sense. What if Yamochi was actually the first Saiyan to achieve the Super Saiyan 4 transformation? There's a filler episode in Z called Goku's New Power, where there's a scene showing Yamochi as a golden Great Ape. What if he managed to control the Golden's Great Ape power and then became the first Saiyan in history to achieve the Super Saiyan 4 transformation? Even though the Super Saiyan 4 transformation is called the 4th Super Saiyan transformation, it actually isn't. I'm pretty sure you don't even need to unlock the Super Saiyan 2 or Super Saiyan 3 transformations to then achieve the Super Saiyan 4 transformation. This form is literally just perfected Super Saiyan Blue when you think about it, as it's the power of Super Saiyan mixed with the Great Ape power and then controlled. Just like perfected Super Saiyan Blue is the power of Super Saiyan God mixed with Super Saiyan and then controlled. Did you know that in the Japanese dub of GT, Goku was voiced by Masako Nozawa in all of his forms, while in the English dub, Kid Goku and Adult Goku were voiced by 2 different voice actors. This honestly just goes to show you how talented those Japanese voice actors really are. Not to throw shade at English voice actors or anything, like Sean Schimmel is an absolute goat and will always be Goku's adult voice for me, but yeah, honestly those Japanese voice actors are just they're crazy, bro. They're crazy. crazy. In Dragon Ball Heroes, Goku and Vegeta were able to achieve a greater version of the Super Saiyan 4 transformation called Super Full Power Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker. And like most people, I used to think that this was the Super Saiyan 4 transformation with some God Key infused in it, but that's actually not what that form is. It's literally just the full power Super Saiyan form from GT, but on crack. That's literally all it is. Did you know that the first game to feature the Super Saiyan 4 transformation was the PlayStation game Dragon Ball GT Final Bout? But what's interesting here is that this game released worldwide in 1997, but GT first aired in North America in 2003. You've probably all heard of Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta's Big Bang Kamehameha, but did you know that in Dragon Ball FighterZ, Gogeta can launch a 100 times Big Bang Kamehameha?
Ultra Big Bang Kamehameha!
And what's even crazier is that in the mobile game Dragon Ball Legends, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta can launch a 1000 time Big Bang Kamehameha. Like, brother, what?
Time 1000 times! Big Bang Kamehameha!
There's one thing that has always bugged me about Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Where the hell did he pull that confetti cannon from? Like, I've heard multiple theories about it. Like how he was just so fast that he took it from the nearest shop without anybody noticing, or that the fusion technique combined with the Super Saiyan 4 transformation allowed him to somehow have some magical powers, but honestly, who knows? Did you know that before Dragon Ball Heroes, the full power Super Saiyan 4 transformation wasn't seen as its own thing? It only got recognized as a unique form with the release of full power Super Saiyan 4 Broly in Dragon Ball Heroes, and later established with the release of full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku in the hit mobile game Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. The original Super Saiyan 4 transformation might actually be stronger than the Super Saiyan 4 transformation we got in Dragon Ball Daima, and it's simply because when Goku turned into Super Saiyan 4 for the first time in Daima, his child body could hold it, but when he did the same in GT, the transformation was so strong that it literally overwrote any magical wish or constraint there was on his body and turned him into an adult. Have you ever wondered how Goku magically got pants once he first unlocked the Super Saiyan 4 transformation, or honestly how he even still has clothes every time he turns into his Super Saiyan 4 form in GT? Like, he goes from a child to an adult. How does that even work? Like, are the pants like stretchable, or like generally how does it work? Well, in one of the GT's guidebooks, it's been stated that the Super Saiyan 4 form has some sort of clothing regeneration capabilities, which makes absolutely no sense in the GT universe, even though it could explain how Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta got his confetti cannon, but could maybe make sense with Daima's version of the Super Saiyan 4 transformation, since even though it's never been officially stated anywhere, I wouldn't be surprised if it's somehow connected to the demon realm. Otherwise, it honestly would make no sense. Like, why didn't he use it in Super? In Dragon Ball Xenoverse, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta has some unused voice lines, and one of them is him using the Kaioken up to Kaioken times 3.
Kaioken! Kaioken times 3! Yeah!
Which is pretty cool. But did you know that in Dragon Ball Heroes, Gogeta actually manages to combine the Kaioken technique with the Super Saiyan 4 transformation, and the form just looks so cool. Very unfortunate that the idea of giving Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta a Kaioken transformation was scrapped from Xenoverse 2. Maybe we'll see it in Xenoverse 3, if that's ever a thing. This is probably the biggest stretch in the history of Dragon Ball theories, but what if Gohan's beast form was just the hybrid Saiyan version of the Super Saiyan 4 transformation? It's been stated by the old guy in GT that the Super Saiyan 4 form is the awakening of a Saiyan's full potential, and we know that the Beast Gohan form is just that, Gohan's full potential. But since he's a hybrid Saiyan without a tail, instead of tapping into his giant ape state, it just taps into his hidden potential. Like I said, this is like the biggest stretch ever, but I'll just put it out there. Did you know that the Super Saiyan 4 transformation possibly saved GT? Toei was originally unsure how far GT would go due to its ratings. The early arcs weren't really received that well, and for obvious reasons. But Super Saiyan 4 Goku's arrival in episode 34 re-engaged many fans and possibly saved the entire series. Did you know that the Super Saiyan 4 transformation greatly sharpens its users' instincts and adaptability? When I Ice first froze Goku, he immediately adapted on the spot, and the second time Ice used that same attack, he was able to easily break from it. He even tells Ice that he can't use the same move on him twice, as his body adapts and compensates for it. That's just so cool. The first time that Goku performed the 10 times Kamehameha in GT, it was blue. But in the hit mobile game, Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, that same scene was recreated and Goku's Kamehameha was red, which in my opinion looks a lot cooler. One thing that both the Daima and original Super Saiyan 4 Goku have in common is that they both counter their enemies' attacks, something that has been represented in the mobile game Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, as almost every Super Saiyan 4 Goku in that game has some sort of counter mechanic, where they counter the enemy's super attacks. Adding on to that, the Super Saiyan 4 transformation has the innate ability to absorb energy. Not only the energy given to it intentionally like when Goku turned full power in GT, but also the Ki Blast attacks thrown at him, like we saw in GT when Goku absorbed Baby's Death Ball attack. Did you know that in Xenoverse 2, Super Saiyan 4 Goku can use the Kaioken? Well, it's not exactly as a transformation, but he has access to the Kaioken Kamehameha. And when he uses one of them, he literally uses the Kaioken technique on top of his Super Saiyan 4 transformation when delivering the Kamehameha. Is the Super Saiyan 4 transformation actually stronger than the Super Saiyan Blue transformation? This is still an ongoing debate within the Dragon Ball community to this day, when the answer has already been given to us in an old Dragon Ball guide. It was stated that the Super Saiyan 4 transformation transforms its user into the strongest version of themselves, which is also why Vegeta looked younger in Super Saiyan 4, because he was literally stronger in his earlier days. Honestly, that form is just so fascinating. Truly the greatest transformation of all time. Super Saiyan 4 Goku would make a perfect god of destruction. That's exactly what we said to Goku in Xenoverse 2.
That form, it's wonderful. I think you'd make a perfect god of destruction.
And honestly, I can see it. The Super Saiyan 4 transformation really works with the God of Destruction outfit. I would like to think that maybe in a different timeline, that's what happened at the end of GT. Could Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta beat Beerus? Well, in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, there's a special interaction between Beerus and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, where Beerus says that Vegeta has gotten much stronger now, and that he might actually be able to beat him.
You seem to have gotten much stronger, Vegeta. Maybe you can win now.
Honestly, I think he's just taunting him, but we know that the Super Saiyan 4 transformation essentially turned its user into his strongest form, so I wouldn't even be surprised if that was actually possible. Did you know that the teardrops in Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku's initial transformation were meant to reflect the teardrop falling off Goku's face? In GT, it even had like this whole like water aesthetic, because why not? Like in GT, that tear had like a meaning, you know? It represented Goku's humanity returning while taking control of his Golden Great Ape transformation. While in Daima, it was just like another Aspal transformation that came out of nowhere. Of course, this is actually a pretty interesting theory, but what if Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku both had red hair, as their transformations were both in some way involved in magic? The fusion dance for Gogeta and Nava's magic for Daima Goku. You probably think that Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta's aura having sparkles was purely a design choice, but what if I told you that it wasn't? This might be a stretch, but I think this theory holds some grounds. Unlike the Super Saiyan 2 and Super Saiyan 3 transformations, the Super Saiyan 4 transformation doesn't have any lightning or additional effects on top of its aura, and I think that this was meant to reflect the fact that the Super Saiyan 4 transformation was like a stable transformation, and we know that the fusion dance ended earlier than it was supposed to in GT, so what if those sparkles in Gogeta's aura were in fact there because the fusion wasn't fully stable? Like the fusion just couldn't handle the power of two Super Saiyan 4 entities. Like honestly, I'm probably just yapping here. It was just a design choice. You already know how the Super Saiyan 4 transformation was initially supposed to have golden hair, but did you know that in the 3DS Fusion game, there's a Maxi Fusion, and I'm pretty sure this is literally an homage to the original idea of the Super Saiyan 4 transformation. Have you ever wondered what would happen if a female Saiyan unlocked the Super Saiyan 4 transformation? Like the transformation is shirtless in literally every single one of its official iterations. Well, in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, there's a Super Saiyan 4 Goku inspired outfit where the character is obviously shirtless, and if you wear it on a female character, well, it just gives her a bra, which just makes sense. Like, we know the transformation can make clothes, so Of course, it was just going to create some new clothes. What else do we think? Geikishin Squadra has some pretty cool alternate outfits, and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta in that game has a golden outfit, which roughly gives us an idea of what the original Super Saiyan 4 transformation could have looked like on him. And I'm not going to lie to you, he wears that color so well. Like, it's insane. This should be an alternate color scheme in Dokkan or Legends. Did you know that in the hit mobile game Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, there's a Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta card that literally does the Dragon Fist. It has completely new original animations. They even remade Super Saiyan 3 Goku's final pose from the TPN movie, and it just looks so cool. Who did it better? Let me know. Now, I think I literally said everything that could be said about the Super Saiyan 4 transformation, so I'll just end the video with 4 facts about the Super Saiyan 4s from the hit mobile game Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. Did you know that 50% of Dokkan anniversaries had a Super Saiyan 4 character as one of the headlining units, which is pretty crazy to think about, but makes sense. The Super Saiyan 4s sell, and they will always sell, just because of how cool the form looks. Another fun fact about that is that Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta has only been featured as an anniversary unit. There's not a single Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta in the game that wasn't an anniversary unit. The closest thing we have to a non-anniversary Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is the Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta we got from the 2022 Hero Celebration, who's technically not only a Xeno Vegeta, but also a whole different transformation. This is a pretty well-known fact by now, but the LR Super Saiyan 4s from the 4th year anniversary were not only leaked before release, but their card arts were also shown on the Dokkan subreddit before we even knew what the theme of the anniversary was even going to be. They were also supposed to have way worse passives, like 80% defense for Vegeta and 80% attack for Goku, and their whole gimmick would be centered around them getting most of their buffs on Super. Who knows how bad this would have been if it actually did happen, but yeah, it would have probably been pretty bad. We also had Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta's whole to-be-released leader skill situation, which if you didn't know, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta was like one of the most anticipated unit in Dokkan history. Like, people had big expectations for him. There was even a meme that was circulating at the time, perfectly representing those said expectations. So the fact that he came early on Global was just so hype, but at the worst cost possible. Not only wasn't he as good as people expected, but he also didn't even have a leader skill on Global, because the update that introduced the category meta wasn't even out yet on Global. So it was bad. But yeah, I guess this is it. Lot of yapping, lot of pretty useless facts, interesting or not interesting theories, you let me know. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care, peace.